So we're gonna get started with the warm up. We got requests for upper back and shoulders, and there's also a few of us that are a bit injured, so that's what I'm gonna teach too. So the first warm up exercise, I'll show you the first three and then I'll just start the timer. The timer's really loud, you'll be able to hear it just fine. Those are my ankles popping. They do that anyways, when they're injured or not. So the first thing we're gonna do is just very simple side to side arm swings, and you can pivot your body if you want to get the whole body into it. And then try to really twist more from the upper spine, because we're focusing on the upper back and shoulders today. And then you'll be doing squat side steps. So squat as low as you want. Remember, this is the beginning of the workout. You don't necessarily need to go crazy, and you can sidestep or not. It's up to you. You're just going to take little side steps. Okay. You can you probably don't want to add weight for the warm up. And then the third one we'll do are side lunge pulses. So a side lunge is just simply lunging over to one side. Also, please notice that when you lunge, your knee isn't buckling forward. You're actually sticking your butt way out. So I'll do different angles for you so you can see. So I can do those okay. If you can't, just go as low as you can, or use something to help you if you're having some issues. You can always use things. Walls, furniture, small furry creatures. All right, so we're gonna get started. I'm gonna start the timer. And what it does is it gives you like a warning, like, and then we start. So we're gonna do these arm swings here. Arm swings. And just kind of like let your arms be really loosey-goosey. You can have your arms be low. You can have them be higher, it's up to you. We're doing each warm-up exercise for 25 seconds with a 5-second break, but you're welcome to not take the break and just keep going. So the second thing is our side squat steps, right? And that's when you start. I don't really get a break. I kind of always have to show you what's next. So you guys can always take that 5 or 10 seconds that we get. You can always go lower. Remember, it's like you're sitting in a chair or you're trying to reach back for a chair. So you don't want it all in your knees and your quads. You actually want it in the hamstrings and the glutes. All right, this is your break. And then we have the side lunge pulses. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you can go lower. I'm just not pushing it because of my ankle. Also, again, this is your warm-up. Don't like kill yourself in the first 5 minutes. You need to save your energy. You can go lower, you can stay higher. All right, the next exercise, you can either do marching or high knees. I can't bring my knees high, but you can march or you can do that in a jog and bring your knees up. I will not be doing that today, but you're welcome to give that a go and see how fast you can go. Some people like to tap their knees with their hands when they do that. It's up to you. All right, then we're going to do a row to a lucky cat. That's what I call that. So a row and then a lucky cat. So you take your arms like a cactus, whee, and then you pull them. You're pulling your shoulder blades back as you do this. You can actually make your muscles tired if you put a little resistance into it. We're going to do this with weights later. A portent of things to come. All right, keep going. And then your next one is lunge pulses. I have to be careful about these. I'm going to use this, but you're just going to get in a lunge pulse. Some people will take their back knee way low. That won't be me today. You can take your back knee low. I have my left leg in front. Don't worry if you don't, because we're going to do the other side. And remember, you want your weight in your front heel, not your front toe side of your foot. So try to keep your weight in the front heel. Good. And then just take the other foot in front. Other side. And make sure you're breathing. You got to breathe through your nose as much as you can so your muscles can get the nitrous oxide that they want. So they don't cramp up and fatigue so quickly. Do the best you can with your allergies or whatever's got going on. All right, one more thing, we're gonna plank hold. You go down and hold a plank. You can come down to your knees. Having your knees down way behind you is a very valid plank. And you want to try to hold it so your butt isn't higher than your shoulders, but it's not so low that your belly's got no tone to it. You can have your feet wide apart or together. And if you want to, you can start tapping your shoulders like I'm doing, tapping the shoulders. So that's the warm up. You're welcome to do a little bit more while I discuss the HIIT portion. If there's anything else you want to do. And I do change things up. We don't do the same number of things or the same exercises from day to day, from week to week, I should say. So what we've got today is 14 sets. That sounds worse than it is, I promise. It's 40 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and a lot of the stuff will repeat. You'll just have the option to ramp it up or take it down. So while you're grabbing a drink and taking a brief break, I'll show you the first 3 things, and then during your 10-second rest time is when I will show you what's next. So I'm gonna pretty much be moving constantly. All right, I'm gonna move this forward a little bit. Okay. So the first thing is lunge to high knee, which means that you'll be in a lunge. We'll start with the right leg in front this time, and you'll pull that knee up. And you can be slow. I have to be slow because I can't balance very well on one foot right now, which could be super fast, right? So I'll do it on my good side, super fast. And some people will want to go skip, right? So I could do that on one foot and not the other, but I'm not going to do it on either. Just so there's that. There's 2 sides. There's 2 exercises. And then you can do the step up to the same thing. So I cannot step up with my bad foot. You can find an object and you can step up. Some people will actually hop here too, right? Or if you're me, you're going to take the baby version of this and step up onto a yoga block. That's what I got going for me today. You can step up on something high. You're welcome to hop with it or not. Okay? And then that's 2 sides as well. So you're actually getting the first 5 exercises demonstrated. And then the other one is a long jump. I won't be doing long jumps. But a long jump, you'll swing your arms, you'll jump as far forward as you can, and you'll land, and then you'll turn around, and you'll just keep going, pretend like I just did a big jump, whew, and then turn around and go. What I'm going to do instead is calf raises. Calf raises are actually part of my rehab plan for the way I sprained my ankle. You don't have to stand with your heels hanging off the edge of anything, but I'm going to because it doesn't hurt and it's more challenging for me. All right, so. And then the rest will be pretty easy stuff that we've pretty much already done. There's a lot of repeats today because I don't have a lot of variety in my movement for this. So we're gonna get started. How many sets here? 14. It'll be fun. You can always rest more, okay? It's totally fine. You can skip a whole set if you need to. So the first thing is lunge to high knee. 5-second, get ready. Right leg in front. And then the left knee comes up. Remember, some of you can be hopping like higher than that. And again, I'm going to take this slow because balancing on this ankle, pretty precarious. You can go super fast. Like some people will really just like do like 2 every second. So I wish I could do more. I do. But here we are. And I know some of you have to work at my pace, and so I'm glad that I can be here with you today. And just taking a nice step back. You can keep your posture a little bit forward. So that's the first one. And then we'll do side 2. Side 2 is the same thing, just with your left leg in front. And the arms are moving like opposites. You go super fast. Feel free to hop. I can show you the hop on this side. Some people will want to do hopping. You'll have an opportunity to hop later too, if you don't want to do that now. Also, some people will touch their back knee when they do this. It all depends on what you're going for. Breathing. we do this later, we can add a kick if we're not doing any hopping to make it a little harder. And we're going to get into the next one pretty soon. We're going to do step ups. Start with your right foot. You can step up. So I might do a few. You can hop. So I'm going to do a few on my bad foot because as long as I step fully on the chair, it doesn't hurt. So if you have your heel hanging off, that's actually going to give you a little bit more strength to your calves. And I'm going to come down here and do them here. You can go super fast if you want to here. This is one of my favorites, actually. I don't know why. Stepping up makes it somehow more exciting. Good. Side two. Remember, the point of the rest is to let the heart rate come down. So make sure you do rest. Left side. If you feel like the rests aren't long enough, that's okay. That's pretty normal. Rest longer. Join in a little bit later. Or skip an exercise. So pushing off my bad foot is proving very interesting. I'm going to go back down here. Remember, you can use a hop here if you want and go mega fast. Or you can hang with me. This is where I'm at. Yay. So the next thing we have long jumps, or if you're not jumping, calf raises with me. So remember, big jumps, use your arms. Take a big jump, turn around, keep going. Calf raises. So you can do it flat on the floor, eek, or you can go up and down. So if you want to, at the halfway point, which is coming up, you can do these little pulses. I'll show you if you're calf raising. Right here, you can do these pulses. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Whew, almost fell over. Dun, 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 dun. Those don't feel good. So I'll just keep going up and down, up and down. And good. Now we're going to go to mountain climbers. So mountain climbers. Let me move back a little bit. So on our hands, okay? Mountain climbers. So you can do it like a march, which is probably where I'm relegated to, or you could go like really fast. Okay? And we're going to do a push-up on every 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Optional push-up. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Optional push-up. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. Maybe push-up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Maybe push-up. Okay, good. So the next one is the same thing we did before. We can do lunge. We're gonna start with our left leg. Lunge to high knee, hop, or do what I'm gonna do, kick. So left leg in front, kick, or you can hop or just stay in place, right? Kick. If you're not a hopper, you're a kicker. Feel free to use your breath if you're kicking. Good news is we're more than halfway through the HIIT portion. Whew. If you want to start jumping, you can. Otherwise, stick with what you're doing. And we'll switch legs. That's interesting. So, remember, you can hop. You can karate kick. So whatever you're doing, you're pushing yourself based on your energy level, not based on what your brain thinks you should be doing. It's like what your body thinks it should be doing. It may not do what your brain wants. That happens sometimes. All right, so the next exercise repeats. It's step ups with the left leg. You're going to use the left leg. Or if you don't want to do step ups, do calf raises on one leg. So step up with your left foot, step in your right knee up, or do calf raises on just the left foot. Use a wall for balance. You don't have to be crazy like me. Feel free to add hopping, like make it a little skip motion. And then I'll transfer over here and see if I can get in a few. Oh, it's not bad. I have to go slow, but it works. A little painful. All right, other side. So your right foot is what steps, or if you're calf raising, your right foot is calf raising. I'm sure how this is going to work for me. So you can go much faster than me. You can step up with your right foot, draw your left knee up really hard if you want to really get in a big workout. Remember to add a hop if that appeals to you. Don't hurt yourself. If you start to feel fatigue, that's one thing. But if you start to feel anything else, you might want to slow down or stop. Yay. All right, good. Very nice. So from here, we have squat jumps or just squats. When I think of a squat jump, I think you're jumping like this. That doesn't actually hurt me. Otherwise, go here and here. Out, out, in, in. Or you can go out or in. Little jumps don't bother me. Do the steps if you have to. Sit as low as you can. Show you from the side. You want to be sitting back. You want to have a lean forward in your spine, but you want to have your chest lifted so you're not hunching over. Breathing. Okay, keep going. Your next one. Okay, your next one is going to be a sideways lunge. So you're going to go like this and do like a little hop, or you're just going to lunge to the side. So I'm going to show you on my good leg. You can be here. Just pick a side and go with it. I didn't have a side planned on my sheet. So you can go big hop, or you can go, whew, you can just lift that knee up. Or you can just hop your little, hop to your heart's content. Yay. I'm sure you've guessed that the next one is the same thing on your other side. I will not be hopping on that side. And then that's it, because for some reason I wrote 14, but I missed a number. So you only get 13 today. So side, you could hop if you want to. It's my attempt at a hop. So go as low as you want to. You could also come up to your tiptoe. If you're not hopping, a little tiptoe action. Do, do, do. Tiptoe through the two lifts. 10 more seconds. Maybe you ramp it up a little bit here at the end. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Okay. That's the HIIT portion. Get a drink. Hopefully, if you're going to fall over, you can get back up. So the strength portion is going to be 12 sets, and it's going to be 55 and 5. Not a lot of rest because it's all strength. There's really pretty much nothing that counts as cardio here, with maybe one exception. So I'm going to get a drink and I'll show you the first couple of exercises. This is where you might want to have those shopping bags filled with heavy items or some soup cans. I have my black beans down there. Because there's only 5 seconds in between, I am going to be shifting gears a little early to show you what the next thing is. So make sure that you listen to the beeping. That will tell you when you stop, rest, and begin. Okay, so the first thing we're doing is standing flies. So for a fly, like a lot of people don't need to take their torso parallel to the floor. And you want to have a bend in your knees unless you want your low back to ache. And when you do this, what I do is I pretend like I'm hugging something in with my legs, like I'm squeezing something in between my knees. So I've got some activation. You don't have to go parallel. I'm not parallel. Pull your shoulder blades back so you don't have a Quasimodo thing happening. Pull up here, and then this is it. You don't want to lock out your arms if your weight is heavy. You want to have a little bend, okay? And for this, I'm going to be wearing they're actually ankle weights, carrying soup cans. This is only 3.5 pounds. This is a weak spot for most people. So doing it without weights will probably be quite beneficial. Remember, you're going for almost a minute. Then the next thing we're doing is lucky cats. So we did this earlier. So we took our cactus arms, we just went here and here. And if you want to, you can go here, pull the shoulder blades back, and just try to keep the shoulder blades back. Do your best to keep your elbows at the height of your shoulders, unless that causes pain, and then dropping them usually fixes that. Okay, and then the next thing I'll show you is rows. So you can row like this, totally upright, it's fine. Or you could adopt that sort of deadlift position where you're rowing from the ground, okay? You could do a little bit of both. Why not? It's your workout. The workout police aren't gonna come to your house and see what you're doing. I don't care as long as you're doing what you feel you need. Okay, and then beyond that, I will demonstrate to you in the last seconds of and during your rest, I'll be demonstrating. So at the end, I might just be drooling and demonstrating. I don't know, we'll see. All right, so we're gonna start with the standing flies. Remember, you only get 5 seconds. If you need more, take more. This is the warning to get ready. And then here we go. Now I am using a little bit of engagement in my core to stabilize my spine, but you don't want to suck your belly all the way in. You only need 5 to 7% of engagement in your lower abdominals to protect your spine. And if you want a little extra, hug your legs in isometrically, like you're squeezing a big beach ball in between your knees. If you want to go a little bit lower, you could drop some weight. Remember, you want to squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another when you get up to the top. And I have just 3.5 pounds and I'm already getting tired. Try to inhale when your arms are down and exhale when they come up. Most of the time, exhaling on the hard part is what you want to do. Almost done. So keep going. And then remember, we've got the lucky cats. I'm actually using weights for these because I'm a glutton for punishment. So here and here. If you want to pull your shoulder blades back, you can. You can hold on to anything or nothing. You could hold on to an actual cat if they'll tolerate it. So for me, I feel like I like to exhale when my arms come down because I feel like my arms are going to drop. But if you're not holding weights, you might switch your exhale. Doing these without weights is great too. It's part of rotator cuff physical therapy. So if you've ever had a tear or you suspect you have, it's really good for it. Boy. Okay, so you guys keep going. I'm going to get to the next exercise, remember. So listen for the beep. Rows. So you can do your rows hanging down or upright. So you can be upright or hanging in that deadlift position, which is where I'm going. In this case, your elbows are going out to the side. But if you're experiencing pain, keeping your elbows in close can help mitigate that. So remember, you can be standing up. You can try both. I'm going to do a little bit of both. You don't have to hold anything. FYI. And then if you are leaning forward, try to keep the center of your chest reaching forward. So you don't want to hide your chest or your neck. You really want to stay nice and extended so you're not like repeating any hunching that you do during the day. And usually I exhale on this part. Okay, you guys have some time. Keep going. I'm going to get on the floor to show you the next thing. Your belly. Get on your belly. Superman. And then you're going to kick your legs. You can keep your head down if you have any neck pain. Otherwise, here we go. You can flutter kick. Keep going. I'm going to put a little bit more light into the room. Forgot to do that earlier. So you can kick your legs. You can just hold them up. You really don't have to kick the whole time if you feel that you're struggling. Keep going there. And then if you need to rest, rest, but try to get up as soon as you can. If your low back hurts, you want to use your glutes more. Okay. So you keep going, listen for the beep, but you're going to get into a right side lunge when you get up. You're going to pick up something with your left hand or nothing at all, and you're going to row. I'll show you. Row. Pick it up and put it down. Right side lunge, left arm working. It's okay if you can't find anything. Honestly, I can't do this for 55 seconds. I'm going to have to just sort of pretend at some point. And then when you do this, try to keep your chest pointed down. Try not to open up to the left. I haven't done these in a while, so I'm definitely going to peter out very, very quickly. And you guys, your soup cans or whatever you're using, use 10 pounds. And it's totally okay to just pause there, take a few breaths. The next exercise is just the other side. So super easy. You'll turn around. I mean, it might be easy, but not simple. Left leg in front, right arm's doing the work. You can lean on your leg. You can put your hand on an object. I actually prefer that. But whatever you do, just make sure you're doing it with integrity. In other words, your spine's not hunching, your torso's not twisting, and you're breathing. Just breathe with it. And feel free to drop whatever you're holding or to just pause and do it without. Do it without something. You guys keep going. I'm going to set you up for the next one. We're going to be on our hands and knees. So as soon as you're done and you hear that beep, come on down to the next contestant. You're going to hands or knees, right leg up. You're going to make circles. So be careful of low back stuff here. If you feel any twinging below the waistline, you want to not circle your legs so high. So we're circling. Use your glute, in this case, your right glutes. And then at about the halfway point, we're going to switch directions. I can't see the phone, so I'm going to have to use my uncanny sense of time as I look at two cans. Okay, and then the other way, other way, other way. Really try to use your glute muscles as your leg is making the transition from back to side. And then for the end, we're going to pulse. So hold your leg up to the side. Try to keep your knee and ankle at level height. 3. Good. Side 2. Okay, side 2. Here we go. And you may find that one leg just like doesn't get it. It's like, how do I get so high on this leg? It didn't work as well as the other leg. It's kind of normal. Unless you do this stuff all the time. Try to keep your knee up. Ooh, this side is not happy. Do a couple more and then we're going to switch directions. Switching directions. Try to keep your breath going. Try to use your glute muscles so you can squeeze the glutes as you're making the circle. We're going to do one more and then we're going to pulse. Pulse. Actually, you're going to pulse. I'm going to get you ready. Ow, for the next one. Okay, we're going to repeat the first one. So standing flies. Let's make it happen. In fact, the last three here are all repeats. Yay for repeats. Hooray. And then the very last one is not a repeat, but simple enough. So standing flies. You're doing almost a whole minute of this, so no weights is actually probably pretty darn good for most of us here. If you are taking a really almost horizontal position with your spine, remember to pull your shoulder blades back and let your belly work a little bit. Next round is the lucky cats. So you know what you're doing when you get there. My belly's working here. My legs are working. Up. Find your goalpost. If you want to combine these with rows, you can. Bring them here, pull them back. Okay, so here, here, here. Out in the front, pull them back, here. Otherwise, forget the row. And just be like those little cats in the windows. Take a break if you need to. Try to keep your shoulders from hunching up. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Try not to stick your belly out though when you do these. You can pull your shoulder blades back without pitching your hips forward. 2 more exercises. And then we turn into pumpkins. All right, so we're gonna do 2 sets of these, squats. Squat. So basically we're gonna come up and down. You don't have to go as low as me. And then with every 3, we're gonna do a pulse of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. Use your belly a little bit. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, blah, 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 down, 2, 2, 2. I'm just going to turn so you can see 1. So it's a lot of bending in the hips. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then the last set is the same, but we pulse with every 6 instead of every 3. Then we're done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can skip the pulsing if you want. 6, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Almost there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's come down and pulse. I'm just gonna do all 10 because why not? You know, because like why not? It's done. We're done. Okay, so there is optional stretching if you have the time and the inclination. to stay for it. I'm gonna move things so I don't trip and injure myself a second time. First thing I would do is stretch the quads. So, you know, grab a wall or something. I'm gonna grab my foot, you can grab your ankle, and just do this. Now keep the knees together. Also notice that I could stick my belly out. That would actually take away from the stretch. So I'm gonna try to have a more straight line up and down. And then the other leg. So the next stretch you could sit for and take your right leg in figure 4. And usually your ankle rests on your leg. Mine's like swollen, so I'm going to put it on. And you can sit here and try to keep some spinal integrity. So again, you're not like this. And lift through the belly and come forward. I'm going to do it here because I didn't get to do as much as some of you guys. So I feel like I want to maybe do it in a chair pose. Ooh, my poor little ankle. So go ahead and stretch that out. Okay, and then the other side. So again, you can sit. Not everybody can do this, by the way. So I forgot, sorry, I should have mentioned that. So you can take your foot further down. As long as you have this knee out, a little external rotation, you're gonna get a hip stretch. So lifting through the side, waist going forward. So one of the regulars just chatted that she wants the noon class to go on indefinitely. So, I don't know, we'll see. A few people are available at noon, no matter what's going on in the world. That would be cool. The next stretch, shoulders. Oh, that's just the back of the shoulders, right? So there's a way to do this. Ow. You could do it standing up, or you could do it with a slight squat, and I'll show you. Your fingers go in like this, and then your elbow and shoulder is going to move, right? You can do this standing. You don't have to squat if your legs are toast. You can do it sitting as well. I do it with my chair yoga peeps all the time. So you're going to turn that right shoulder in, the fingertips turn in towards the inner groin, and you're going to look over the left shoulder and breathe. And the more you push, if you push the leg away, if you bend the arm, different sensations all throughout the upper back quadrant here. Same thing with the other side. So fingers turn in if you can, elbow and shoulder forward, look over the right shoulder, push into the leg, maybe bend the arm more. There's lots of ways to navigate this. Now we're gonna get on the floor. That's where I wanna be. So on the floor, you can take a thread the needle. A couple ways to do this. So first, you can take a puppy pose, right? So there's child's pose where your hips are all the way back. And you can take puppy pose where your tail is wagging up high into the sky and your arms are out and wide. And you can have your hands down. So puppy poses can be a really great thing to do. Like if you sit in a chair all day and just, you know, hopefully nobody's around and can see you, just drop and do your puppy pose. Then we're gonna add a thread the needle element. I'll show you that from a different angle. So from your puppy pose, you can take your right arm through, thread it under here. Not everybody can put their head down. So don't worry if you can't do that. And then you can morph this into where you're laying on top of your arm. So just so you know, there's some people who will never be able to lay on their arm. And if that's you, there's nothing wrong with you. So the thread the needle is perfectly fine. This is just for people who might have a little extra mobility. And then we'll do the other side. So left arm, thread the needle. If your head doesn't touch the ground, I mean, you could put something underneath your head, that's fine. And then if you want to lay on top of your arm, that's a thing too. Good, and then, so not everybody can clasp their fingers behind their back. If you can't, just grab a blanket or something real quick. Towels work, anything, a strap, a belt, whatever, and just take your arms back. By the way, I'm going to do this kneeling. right? So your arms could be super wide. If you can interlace, go ahead. If you look at my elbows, they're hyperextended. I'm gonna bend them a little bit. It's gonna save my elbow joint, and also it's gonna help me stretch more muscles, right? This is also a good one to do at your desk. Set a timer every 30 minutes. Do like 3 minutes of a stretch. It will make a huge difference. Just a little bit can go a long way. Good. All right. The other thing we're going to do is stretch out the hamstrings a little bit. So this is going to be our last stretch. So a lot of people are under the misconception that if you can't touch your toes, that you're a horrible person. And this is just not the case. Okay. Touching your toes is very, very unique to each person. So I'm going to take something underneath my knees so I don't hyperextend them. And I'm going to take my feet a little wide and come forward. Okay. So as you come forward, same theme of the day. Instead of rounding forward and doing this, try to stretch from your low spine. Yeah, you're not going to go as far, but you're going to get more out of it. Like your body's going to be more integrated. And also, touching your toes can just be a matter of, I have long arms and short legs, or you might be extremely hypermobile, and touching your toes is something that, you know, you shouldn't be doing all the time, which I'm kind of in both camps there. So don't worry if you can't. Just feel like you're stretching with integrity. Let your knees bend if that helps too. It usually does. And then before we get up and go, we're just going to do a couple side stretches. So I'm just going to sit like this. You're welcome to cross your legs. I can't right now. Can't sit like that. You're going to go over to the left side and lean your right arm over like a little rainbow, a little arc. My elbow is down. Yours might not be. And then we'll go over to the right side. Little side stretch. Ooh, that side really needed it. Fantastic. Oh, okay, cool. All right, so that's your 45 minutes. Thanks for coming. Thanks for those who've been supporting me monetarily and just coming to class. It's just great to like have people around to teach. If you're able to donate, that's great. If not, well, clearly it doesn't matter. You still come. And I was been contemplating running these just forever as a regular class. So if it's something that you can do, whether you're working at home or, you know, when school's out in the summer, if you're a teacher, feel free to let me know. Yeah, so thank you guys. Feel free to, if you want to verbally say something, you can unmute yourself. Otherwise, it was lovely. And next week, I hope to be more able-bodied. And hopefully you guys, those of you that were hurting, are going to feel much better. Enjoy the good weather.
Thank you, Christine. You too.